So the other day over on Twitch, we checked out Jimin's face, both literally and in album form. And I have to say that, honestly, that was one of the most enjoyable album listening experiences I've had in a very long time. We really followed Jimin's story back during the pandemic times, and we kind of did like a little bit of a surface level dive onto the album. We just listened to it, and we still have a lot to learn, and so I figured the best way to learn about Jimin's Face album is to check out Boracity Magazine's video titled Jimin's Debut Album, The Face of Today's Pop Music. My name is MasterGo, and over here we react to everything and anything to do with BTS. We are on a journey with the boys to learn about life, love, and the human experience. And quite honestly, the best way to really understand the boys is to watch a Boracity Magazine video. So guys, if you do enjoy today's video, please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new here, and ring that bell notification so that you can be notified for the next BTS video. Okay, so with all of that said, let's dive into Boracity Magazine's video titled Jimin's Debut Album, The Face of Today's Pop Music. This has 27,000 views as of 2 months ago. Let's get into it.
Jimin's debut solo album Face is modern pop perfection. For the past 10 years, Jimin has given a very unique element to his music that I haven't really seen before in any kind of musical group.
Now, oh man, I can't wait to get into those.
With his official solo debut, Jimin proves that he is one of the strongest pop stars from this generation. It's not just about all the records he broke with this album, it's about what Jimin as an artist represents. Jimin is modern pop music, and his solo album Face proves it. Pop music
is the face of pop music, absolutely.
It doesn't have one particular sound like other genres do, but it's still easily identifiable. Pop music is fun, easy to listen to, and friendly to mainstream audiences.
It's popular music.
Is popular music. Yeah. And with time, popular music changes and evolves.
Yeah, absolutely.
So in only 6 tracks, Jimin delivered 6 different pop styles.
Absolutely.
The first song, Face Off, has strong trap soul elements.
Trap soul? I've never heard of trap soul before. Recognized as an R&B song. Interesting.
And is usually recognized as an R&B song. Interlude Dive is an instrumental that shows the dreamy side of pop music. The first single, Like Crazy, is a synth pop anthem, one of the most listened to pop styles today.
Absolutely.
Alone is a melancholic pop ballad. The second single, Set Me Free, is Jimin's first hip-hop influenced song, an extremely common pop music trend today. And the hidden song Letter, part of only the physical CD, is an acoustic pop song, which is heavily BTS inspired both in sound and in message. Because of its short duration and number of songs, Face is considered an EP, not a full album.
Right.
So how is this short project able to transmit so much in just 6 songs?
That's very true. I never really kind of looked at it like that. The fact that there was only so many songs, but every little bit of it was perfect. There was nothing that was out of place. And I've said this about some albums before, that a lot of the times you'll get a lot of songs where you just kind of pass through, you're not really into it kind of thing. But each and every single one of these songs kept your attention, and it delivered something more. It's really interesting. Man, let's see what Bora has to say. Let's get into it. Come on now.
To start, in a very BTS fashion way, Face has a story to tell, but the songs can be listened to and analyzed independently. When it comes to the overall message of the album, I believe this interpretation by Weavers Magazine is on point. Viewing the songs on Face as one connected work, the first and last track mark the beginning and end of the cycle of psychological distress he confesses to. This cycle is represented by circles throughout the promotional posters, the digital album cover, as well as the physical album's content. Jimin explained that Face depicts this spectrum of emotions he faced during the pandemic.
알고 계실 거라고 생각이 들지만 제 자신을 팬데믹도 겪고 그 상황에서 제가 느꼈던 감정들을 뭔가 순차적으로 되돌아보는 감정을 정리하는 그런 앨범입니다.
And this story of heartbreak, seduction, fame, and loneliness starts with Face Off. Face Off, the opener of the album, starts with an alternative version of the popular piano piece Flea Waltz.
Oh, so that's actually, okay, interesting. Flea Waltz.
This introduction has an abrupt change to a trap soul instrumental.
Trap soul.
This switch serves as a paradoxical or ironic start to the rest of the song. The story Jimin will tell is not pretty or romantic. This song, Jimin explains, is intense, rebellious, and has a lot of anger. He blames himself for believing and giving his all to someone who didn't deserve it. But because those damn days are over, he drinks.
Tonight I thought I'll be sober. Burning up, it's a fucking over. Break it down, break it down.
Jimin shows his anger at this person who tried to take everything from him, but he hopes they don't change because this experience helped him find himself. Despite the heartbreak, he now feels like he has it all.
Oh my god, okay, so yeah, this is exactly why oh my god, yes, Boracity, let's go. Like, just really digging in deep now. Like, of course, I didn't get the chance to really understand the lyrics of these songs at the time of my surface level, or like we called it in the stream, my snorkeling dive into the album. So yeah, it's great that I can actually like really get an idea of what's going on from Boracity, but then as we go on, we're gonna take a deeper dive into the lyrics. So I'm assuming that what we've got and what we're seeing right here is like a listening party to the EP from Jimin.
The anger from Face Off has an easier transition to the dreamlike introspection of the next song, Like Crazy, thanks to Interlude Dive. This interlude lets the audience dive into the world of fame and loneliness. And to experience the contrast, you will listen to a recording of Jimin greeting armies at BTS's Busan 2022 concert.
이렇게 만나게 되는 여러분 지금입니다.
Followed by the lonely sounds of Jimin leaving the stage.
And then he takes a drink after that, right?
Of being lost and wandering, Jimin recorded with his phone sounds of panting for air while running somewhere. This interlude ends with his intense need to get drunk coming to reality. He pours himself a drink and drinks from it.
Oh.
The aftermath is shown in the next song, Like Crazy, about a dreamy intoxication.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Watch me go, and I just bounce
Like Crazy is the album's main single and is a pulsing, stylish, and glittery synth pop track. Jimin was inspired by the 2011 romantic drama film Like Crazy. He said, "I thought it would be very romantic and sweet, but it turned out that it's actually a very realistic and stark depiction of a breakup. This feeling is what the song and music video transmit." Jimin says, Like Crazy feels happy, but there's loneliness behind it.
I found that with so much when it comes to BTS in general, is that you've got sometimes just like this upbeat, you can dance to it, it's really awesome, and it's just like it feels good and you're feeling good when you're listening to it. But then when you get into the lyrics, it's completely different. And that I absolutely love about BTS, and in this case Jimin as well, because this is so like them to do this.
This contrast is shown at the beginning of the song with a dialogue part of the movie interpreted by a male and a female voice. These two voices, along with the mirror choreography, the references to two personas in the music videos, and the two physical album versions titled Invisible and Undefinable, can be interpreted as the two voices inside Jimin's head, one optimistic about this dreamy intoxication and the other one more preoccupied about the lonely reality.
Wow. Oh my god. And you go as far as to creating that through the physical copies too? Invisible face. Oh, wow.
This contrast is shown at the beginning of the song with a dialogue part of the movie interpreted by a male and a female voice. These two voices, along with the mirror choreography, the references to two personas in the music videos, and the two physical album versions titled Invisible and Undefinable, can be interpreted as the two...
Oh wait, hold on a sec, did I... Oh, so it must like when you're shining it kind of thing.
choreography, the references to two personas in the music videos, and the two physical album versions titled Invisible and Undefinable can be interpreted as the two voices inside Jimin's head, one optimistic about this dreamy intoxication and the other one more preoccupied about the lonely reality.
I think we could last forever. I'm afraid that everything will disappear. Just trust me.
Jimin explains that his experience is a cliche story like a drama. In the loud music, he fades out. So he'd rather be lost in this place than continue feeling the heartbreak.
Oh, man.
Rather be lost in the lights. I'm out of my mind. Can't find me, could you jump
I think this song has a lot of denial and a need for distraction. Jimin sings about going crazy when he looks at himself in the mirror, but he feels alive while he wastes his time. This is what the song is about. He's drinking, dancing, and singing his feelings to the catchy tune of a club's music. But this good night is not real. He is still falling.
Oh, wow. Okay. Add that extra layer onto this song. Holy moly.
The song ends with the male voice from the start of the song sobering up and accepting his loneliness.
Alone again. What's the point?
Oh.
Alone is a pop ballad that works as a response to the energetic high and promised escapism of Like Crazy. After the night depicted in Like Crazy, Jimin sings in Alone. When falling asleep, drunk, and being unable to remember anything, I thought about it. What am I doing now? The me who pretends to be okay every time, I find him pathetic. This song, as well as the rest of the album, is more than just the story of a heartbreak. Just like with the discography of BTS, there is a common and relatable theme easy to understand, but this story is the manifestation of the BTS members' real feelings and experiences. Jimin explains that the feelings part of Phase were part of his pandemic experience, full of doubts, frustrations, and fears. So taking into consideration both interpretations, we can now understand a little more where he's coming from when he says that he's not lost in the lights anymore. Now he's alone in a room with lights turned off, gradually losing himself. This has become a habit.
Wow.
This song is the complete
Oh, yeah, there it is. That's why we're getting like those drops too in the sound. Oh my god. Wow.
opposite of Like Crazy. He's not making up believable excuses anymore. He now feels that what's broken cannot be reversed. And even when he says to himself, make it right, it's gonna be alright, there's a subtle voice repeating the word lie.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
The pre-release single Set Me Free by Jimin is titled Set Me Free Part 2 because it follows Set Me Free by BTS bandmate Suga as August D. Although these two songs are not
Oh, hold up. I didn't know that. Okay, so I was wondering why it was called Part 2.
Set Me Free by BTS bandmate Suga as August D. Although these two songs are not purposefully connected, Jimin said that his song talks about freedom and moving forward, and Suga's song talks about some of the stories that come before. The music video has a very intense choreography which shows the energy of a ray of light coming into the darkness. This is represented by the black and white colors. Jimin starts the song explaining his feelings portrayed in the previous songs. He wandered in a maze in Face Off. He drank Hennessy at night in Like Crazy. He realized this became a toxic habit in Alone, but now in this song, he is finally free. This
Oh man. Oh boy. Yep. We're really sinking to the bottom now here. Oh my goodness.
Process of going insane or feeling lost to stay sane or find oneself is a common theme in BTS's music. In Blood, Sweat and Tears from 2017, BTS referenced the German quote, "One must still have chaos in oneself to be able to give birth to a dancing star." They referenced this theme again in 2020. On by BTS doesn't only have the exact same lyrics about going insane to stay sane, but it also has an intense choreography which represents facing challenges and one's true self.
Oh my god, and can you imagine, like, this was one of my very first reactions to BTS. This was my very first reaction to BTS. And now we're kind of coming back a little bit, coming back to understanding a little bit more, because back then we're there for the vibes, right? We're there for the dance, and we're there for the intense music. Oh man, it goes deeper, baby.
Even if this brings you pain in the process.
Yes. Oh my god.
Jimin explains that Set Me Free Part 2 took inspiration from On. In a sudden change after the first chorus, Jimin goes back to the dark and lonely place from previous songs, but his attitude is different. This is made obvious by the stylistic choice of heavy autotune, which shows desperation and protest in his message.
I can feel it in the mirror, but I got no time to break switches and make
Now he demands others to let him flow and get out of his way. He tells others to shut up because his prime time has begun. And even if others ridicule him, he won't stop.
Yes. Oh man. Boracity Magazine. Come on now. Oh my god, thank you. That literally was just like a light turned on in my head. That is phenomenal. Oh, so good.
The last song of the digital album is the English version of the main single, Like Crazy. This song has the same message, but some lyrics are worth reading because there are some differences. While the Korean version of Like Crazy and the pre-release single Set Me Free Part 2 were promoted in Korean TV shows, the English version of Like Crazy was the song promoted in the US. Jimin performed this version for the first time in The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon.
I'm gonna have to watch this. I'm gonna have to watch this for sure. That will have to be obviously thrown down on the Patreon, because there's no way that I could watch anything late night on here on YouTube without it being completely silenced by the silencers.
Despite lack of radio promotion, Like Crazy hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, making it the first song ever by a South Korean soloist to top the chart, and the 7th #1 by any South Korean act. This list includes BTS or BTS members only. Along with other composers, RM from BTS worked with Jimin in the composition process of both the Korean and English versions of Like Crazy, as well as the first track, Face Off. So that's even more credits for BTS members on the Billboard charts and Korean charts. Set Me Free Part 2 by Jimin also peaked at number 30 on the Hot 100, with no remixes, physical versions, or radio play.
And that's like, that's a whole nother story too. Because yeah, like, man, that Like Crazy should have been played everywhere. This whole album should have been played everywhere, but Like Crazy, especially for Western audiences, would have, like, this, that would have been an anthem for sure, for everybody in the clubs, everything, man. That would have just been something else. Okay.
The last song, Letter, is a hidden track, only part of the physical CD. The tracklist in the physical album has a last page that appears to be blank, but if you pay attention, you will notice the lyrics of the hidden song, Letter. This hidden page also credits Jungkook for background vocals, and the song Letter, which is only part of the physical CD, was retitled Dear Army on YouTube.
Yes, so we actually watched this. This was on my Like Crazy video. I watched the music video, the dance, and then I watched this. And the reason that I watched this was because this was actually the second thing that I had ever seen from BTS. When I first was actually going through and like kind of seeing things when it came to after reacting to Lilith with Suga and Halsey. This was actually the very first thing that showed up when I looked up BTS, because I'm like, what's going on with this? And then I seen this, and then I was just like, okay, that's kind of cool. And so I actually reacted to this in a sense, re-reacted, but I watched this, and the setting is just beautiful, and the sounds, oh my god. Now, I didn't realize that the lyrics were actually in the description of the video, so let's see here what we've got when it comes to Letter.
Jimin performed Letter or Dear Army for the 2023 Festa, the celebration of BTS's 10th anniversary. This is why the song is not its own song. Instead, it will technically start playing at the 6-minute and 13-second mark in the last song of the album, like Crazy English version. 6/13 is the anniversary of BTS's debut, and Jimin wrote this letter for ARMYs when BTS
Layers, guys, layers!
announced the group's break for their military service. Just like many of BTS's letters to ARMYs, this song has comforting messages and a promise. Jimin believes that when BTS and ARMY are together, the desert could turn to a sea. So he is asking ARMYs to stay with him so he can deliver as much as he received and keep his word.
Oh boy. Okay, I'm gonna have to really look into those lyrics too. That's so meaningful, and that would be so meaningful to so many people. Wow.
Is of course just the beginning of Jimin's music journey. This strong
Absolutely.
debut promises artistic growth in future projects. Today's pop is so versatile, and genre-bending songs are extremely common. With Face, Jimin proves that he is able to shine in any popular music style. Weavers magazine titled their Face review, Jimin is his own genre. And I think this title explains the ways in which Jimin Jimifies every song he is in. Each song part of Face is a different style of pop music that, in a fair world, could be heavily promoted on the radio to mainstream audiences. And Jimin succeeds at doing all these styles while also giving them a unique element. In other words, Jimin is not just singing pop music. Jimin is today's pop.
Yeah, and I was even gonna say he's creating pop music. He is pop music. Very well said. Very well said. Good job, Bora. Good job. I loved it. Oh my goodness. Good job. That was a fantastic breakdown. It had opened up my eyes to so much more. I can't wait to get more into the lyrics. Honestly, Jimin's Face has definitely got to be one of my favorite EP listening experiences in ever. Honestly, and I was glad to watch, and I was glad to listen to everything so far when it came to Face. And I definitely plan on doing that more with the other members' albums, and of course, when it comes to BTS's full albums as well. I think it's so important to really outline, especially in these videos, how intense these layers are, and everything that comes with an album. Things are not done by mistake. Things are not just kind of thrown in to just appease some sort of audience. It's really a deeper layer, and each layer that you peel away, there's always something more. And that I absolutely love about listening to these album experiences from the boys, because it's so much more when it comes to the lyrics, when it comes to the music videos, and when it comes to the sounds that we hear. There's so much more, and this is why I love my journey so much, doing this here on YouTube, because not only do I get to experience this firsthand, but I also have ARMY's help to really shine light on a lot of things that I miss, some things that I don't understand, and in the end, I come to experience the boys for so much more, and that I am so grateful for. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I really did enjoy this deep dive into Face. I'm gonna go and listen to this more, especially at work, because I I really love listening to Face at work because it really does add that extra layer of just power throughout your day. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you did like today's video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new here, and ring that bell notification so that you can be notified for the next BTS video. My name is MasterGo, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.